have been just real quick ones, other than, Peace versus Baka Lust, and Peace versus Alora and Raigun Does. Everything else was a 3-0. So we could see this following suit, or we could see, when you get into this top 3 and everybody's like so closely lumped together, these can extend into your game 4s, into your game 5s, into your grand final resets, into your game 10s.
Right, and here we go, right into game number 1. Didn't even see the map that we picked. I'm guessing Mammoth Fortress. Am I right? Am I right, Sparky? Yes,
you're right.
Of course. It's such an easy
Tazza.
guess. Shouldn't, honestly, don't give me any credit for that one. Anybody could guess Mammoth Fortress.
Yeah, but you know how wild it can get in these other regions. You know how crazy they can get with the map picks.
Yeah, that's true. The map picks get pretty insane towards the end. Not as insane as saying Small Enigma or anything, but sometimes they'll bring it to Miami Dome or the Great Hall on game number 5. But here we go into game 1. Doggo and Baileyyyy up against Kylar, Alice, and Rite. We've got the Tariffs, or the Gruagok in this case, coupled with the Hattori going against Bryn and Bodvar, and already just brawl on the left and right side of the map. There goes Kylar in for the assist, but a fully charged side sig sends him flying to the left, and this edge guard looking amazing for the red team.
That is an early death for Rite there. Oh, and an early death for Kylar. Oh my gosh, Doggo and Baileyyyy starting off 45 seconds in, getting a double KO. Rite again going far over to the right side. He's using that Hattori skin from the Battle Pass, and that's a WAP because it's wonderful and it's pretty. But we have a lot of heavy hitters in this. We have an Axe. Oh man, one of the heaviest hitters in the game.
Oh no, Kylar! Wait,
Kylar, he's got to be so careful. He's so close to getting a KO, but he's also so close to getting KO'd.
Ooh, Baileyyyy sent to the left side of the stage. Rite throwing that weapon up. Luckily, it didn't hit Kylar, and somehow Kylar's still holding on. There was a lot of moments where I felt like Kylar exhausted all of his options, but nice side to come through. But ended up getting hit back to the stage because his opponents had no choice while they were recovering. Now Rite's fighting against Doggo. Nice stop side air. Just a few seconds too late to get the double knockout, but he doesn't care. The stocks are still gone, and he's continuing to stop and sidelight all the way through Bailey's second stock.
Yeah, Kylar's unofficial double there is going to even up the stocks, but Kylar and Rite, super damage here. The D-Light recovery almost knocking out from Baileyyyy. One more of those will do it. Or it might be a neutral light from Doggo. Somehow that doesn't knock out, but in the meantime, Rite is gone again. The first one on his final stock, but Kylar might be following him suit just to make him feel more at home there on that final stock. Kylar and Rite having a rough go of it early on.
Whoa, that was an interesting team combo. The gravity crystals were a little poorly spaced there, but they still get a ton of damage. And just barely misses that double D-Light side air. Kylar, however, with the double dare, goes for the triple, doesn't get it, and the recovery from Baileyyyy interrupted by Rite. Baileyyyy trying to make his way back to the stage. Side sig, or down sigged away, still living. And is that going to be the stock? Are they going to be able to even it up? The blue team is just like they're a few damage away from being at a very significant deficit. Okay, the pogo save? What? Kylar with the friendly fire? I can't. That takes so much calculation to be able to see a slide charge to Tori down sig and go in there with the pogo stick and just hit him in the straight in the head to save the teammate. That was crazy.
Yeah, because that down sig definitely would have killed Baileyyyy. But by hitting Baileyyyy with the down air, that gave Baileyyyy the option to get back up. So saving from the death, also punishing the enemy teammate. 4 stocks to 1, and Kylar is all but dead here. You see the spot dodge coming out from Baileyyyy, going a little bit too low. Still has the recovery to get back up. The recovery from Kylar knocking out off the top. 3 stocks to 1. Spot dodging that neutral signature from Doggo. Big side air from the right side of the stage. Not quite enough.
Perfect side air coming up. The down air comes okay, Rite. Was flying. Nice side sig. I love seeing the gravity cancel haymaker as an edge guard. Reminds me of that really crazy set that wasn't on stream. Do you know what I'm talking about? What tournament did that happen?
I mean, you're going to have to. We've been doing this for like 5 years. So there's a lot of sets.
I know, but there was like a set. I think it was like a 1v1 where Wrenched or somebody, was it Wrenched or Kostelix ended? I don't know. My memory is failing me here. I'll figure it out. Somebody from Stats will tell me. Anyways, all I'm saying is edge guard with the haymaker on the bottom of the stage.
I think that one's going to be a mystery until the end of time.
I promise I'll figure it out. Maybe not on this stream. Okay, going into game 2. Back to Mammoth Fortress. Kylar and Rite had a very difficult time going into that game, but they're the ones that were able to make the adjustments to their gameplay rather than their legend picks. And Kylar going with a nice sidelight side air sends Baileyyyy off the left side of the stage and is now fighting against Doggo. Kylar actually putting in a ton of damage this game.
Now, one thing that Kylar and Rite did last game is like they both went off stage super ham at the same time. And I think that that really did not help them whatsoever. Again, like look how deep both of them are going in. Somehow Rite finds the neutral air to find priority over Bailey's ground pound, but they both like super went ham even when they were behind.
Yeah, there goes Rite down to 2 stocks. Bailey very damaged as well as Doggo. Kylar could just hit. Okay, he went for the haymaker, got stopped in the middle of the swing, and gets stared away down to his 2nd stock. Red team in a solid 6-4 lead. Now Bailey goes down. Will Doggo follow afterwards? Kylar keeps going. He's going for the gravity cancel breakdance.
They're playing so weird.
Yeah,
It seems so chaotic.
definitely seems that way.
Like they're doing stuff that really good players do, but it seems like the overall pace and the decisions that they make are not necessarily the highest level player mindset. Like obviously they're incredible players, but it seems like it's just
no.
the flow.
It's a
of
high
the
level
game
mind.
is
It's a
so
high level
weird.
mindset. If you gravity cancel a down sig unarmed in the middle of the stage, it's why. Let me finish. If they are dash jumping by habit, it covers it perfectly.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Nice signature knockout on a Doggo. Wow, that was Doggo's first stock. Oh, a neutral. Oh, what? Nice save from Bright. Not sure if he was looking for it. He was just trying to use his recovery to get back to the stage, I think. Okay, there he goes. Bailey takes him down.
Like we talk about pinball a lot when like one person is getting knocked around all over the stage. This is like pinball when you knock down like all 3 buttons and then you just have 4 balls on the stage and you're trying to keep up with all of them, and it's just pure chaos. There's no uniformity to it whatsoever. It's just confusion.
I mean, I guess that's when you're playing ping. Or, Jesus, I almost said pinball. What were you talking about? Pinball. That's what
Yeah,
I guess
Taz, I'm sure you're a great
pinball.
pinball player after this discussion. Yeah, definitely.
Going into this right now, Doggo. Oh, okay. Gets sided away. Oh, and it was like a delayed alley-oop off the bounce on the stage. Kylar was in the perfect position to read the jump, get the side air, and even up the stocks. Doggo almost gets team comboed. And I like that. Kylar, and I was talking a little bit about this earlier, a little bit too earlier actually, but Kylar will show that he's aggressing onto one opponent and then immediately turn around to hit the other person at the last second. Let's see if that's able to work here in a 1v2. Obviously, it's not as strong when all your opponents have to focus on is you, but Kylar is on that heavy-hitting Grugak. Let's see if he picks up a hammer here. He does. Side air missed, and then neutral light. Oh, I think the side light missed. I wasn't sure. It was an interesting follow-up from Bailey.
Toss just to break things up a little bit. Kylar over on the edge, gets on the soft platform, falls down with a Sair. More weapon tosses coming out. The recovery, knocking out off the top. And going back to your point about putting like 2 moves, like say he has an axe in his hands, he'll go for the sidelight nair onto, say, Doggo. And then as Bailey is coming in for the punish off of that, he'll turn around and throw a side air towards Bailey. That's especially effective when your opponents are in the later damage stages, because you're already sending one person far away with like the side light nair. Then you turn around, hit the side air on like an orange or a red player, you're splitting them even more. So based on that, you can choose what you do after that. Do you aggress on the first person you attack or the second person you attack? What's the more powerful position for you to pursue?
Right, and that's that skill that we're just seeing coming out from those teams, or lack thereof, depending on whether or not they succeed. But we're going to be seeing as we go on throughout the rest of this set. Okay, right on Thor now. Wants that extra defense in, definitely going into that defense stance, getting up to 8 so that he can just live a little bit longer. Wasn't liking how the games were playing out so far because they are down 0-2. Although I do want to stress that the sets between Kylar, Allison, Rite, and Doggo and Bailey tend to wildly differ depending on history. Like I'm looking back, and there was a grand finals where Kylar, Allison, Rite, and the Combo Breaker came from the lower bracket and 6-0'd them. In the same case, it's the exact same thing happened to Kylar, Allison, Rite when Doggo and Bailey came in through the lower bracket. Typically, whoever makes that lower bracket run is actually the one that just sweeps grand finals. So it's like I'm looking at this matchup and going, okay, this is the winner's finals that's going to decide whoever goes down to lowers is actually going to win the tournament. That's what's happening here.
Yeah, we see regions that have a consistent winner. Like I'm looking at SEA, and it's Tiger and Jerry K almost all the time without fail. When you come even to a region like this, even with some consistent like top threes of Doggo and Baileyyyy, Kylar and Rite, Shadow and Goddess, you never know who that final top spot is going to be, even if the top three are consistent top 3 finishers. Like going into this, Kylar and Rite, they're a little bit behind now, but they could get the KO really quickly, get the full wipe on the red team, especially with the heavy weapons coming out, right? Beautiful signature coming in. They're looking for the KO on Doggo. The Nair, not enough to take off the top, but the second Nair is just above that right soft platform.
Rite falling down with the orb down airs, trying to keep Baileyyyy off of him. Nice job on the Doggo. Nice 3-piece string with the orb there, actually. Being able to put on a little bit more damage. Kylar AUS doing a great job holding on to his stock and like taking as few damage as possible. Downlight drops, Doggo with a friendly fire. And this is another thing that we're talking about, at least in Australia, I know, that when their backs are against the wall, I feel like the Great Hall ends up being the stage that is picked out a lot of the times. So it's interesting to see them playing here.
Kylar and Rite over on the right side. Kylar just barely getting back to the main platform, now pushing a little bit further. Rite gets back. Tried against Doggo, stomp side air. There's Baileyyyy ready with the punish and the D-Light Dare, putting the red team into incredible position there to possibly get this full team sweep. They got Rite out of there. The other 3 players in this game are in the red. Axe coming in, almost picks up Doggo on the backside of that recovery. That would have been a great move.
How does Kylar manage to survive in those situations? I'm looking at that like there's no way he's making it back. Gets him flying off to the top side of the stage and then holds on, still living, only because a little bit less knockback from friendly fire, and he nearly nairs Doggo off the top unarmed. Kylar AUS.
Some crazy Taro stock extensions today. Kylar is definitely not the only one, even today, that we've seen. Like, how are we not knocking out this legend? I was playing 2s like just before this, and there was a Taros in one of my games, and it was, how is he not dead?
Was it Duke?
No, it wasn't Duke.
Oh, okay, it wasn't Duke. Just making sure.
We ended up losing to him, and I would never lose to Duke in 2s.
Okay. So Taros is a beefy legend. Not as much as Thor, but when it comes to getting into like you're in 6 defense, anything above that, really, it's going to be a lot harder to take you out. That 4 to 6 area is a little bit, or not a little bit. There's a huge difference when it comes to your survivability. Now Kylar in the 1v2 against Doggo and Baileyyyy. I mean, this is looking like the 3-0 that's going to send Kylar AUS right into the lower bracket, which just makes me go, uh-oh. Doggo and Baileyyyy have to watch out for that 6-0 on their way back if they can take out Goddess and Shadow, and that's normally the case if we're looking at history. It's going to be very interesting to see. Doggo and Baileyyyy, however, they look like they got this one in the bag. Kylar is just going for the classic gravity cancel, neutral sig, comeback, the really impressive thing that every Taros player can do on the side of the stage.
Impressive?
Oh, but his hammer's gone. Yes, impressive.
I would not call it impressive. Strong, I would call it. Kylar's making a pretty good go of it so far. It looks like he almost has Baileyyyy and Doggo a little bit scared. They know they're playing against a very high-strength Taros. They know he has 2 very heavy weapons in his back pocket. That first weapon toss going to just add a little bit of hit stun. Ooh, that is almost enough, but not quite. That one is. Doggo's been hitting several of those where like he'll hit the first move and it's not enough to knock out, and then he'll hit the second one like right after that, but a little bit higher or a little bit closer to the left or the right side.
Yeah, and he's been hitting them consecutively very well. And it's not exactly a string per se, but as long as you're hitting your opponent, it means you have a good idea of where they're trying to land or recover. So excellent job from Doggo there. And you can even see it, right? Like after the first one hits, he's like, okay, back to the stage. I got all my jumps. I'm going to wait to see who comes back down so I can hit them again. Doggo and Baileyyyy, easy 3-0 coming into the grand finals for them, meaning that Kylar AUS and Rite are going to be dropped down to losers finals to fight against Goddess and Shadow, which is the matchup that we're going to be having next. Very excited for that.